Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Every Strand Counts with me, your host, Dana Wilson. Thank you for joining us for our Call to Care Holistic Hair Advocate Spotlight Series. We're going to get started here shortly, so go ahead and share with others so they can join in on this powerful conversation that we're going to have today. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
In audio.
All right, welcome again, everyone. You are tuning in to Call to Care Holistic Hair Advocate Spotlight Series, where we highlight individuals who have answered the call to care and are impacting people through their work. This series is proudly sponsored by Peace and Hair Growth Together Summit, expanding hair care with hair loss solutions. So, here at Every Strand Counts, we truly believe that every strand really do count. Every root, every lesson, every experience, and every legacy makes a difference in our lives. This show creates a space for conversations that will educate, empower, and restore confidence with leaders, authors, and entrepreneurs who long to touch, move, and inspire others through their work. And just to give you some context behind this series, Call to Care Holistic Hair Advocate Spotlight Series, a holistic hair advocate is a hair care professional who goes beyond the strand, supporting hair growth by addressing scalp health, lifestyle, and whole body wellness, not just what's showing up on the surface. Because when we understand the full picture, we create space for real and lasting transformation. And today, I have the honor of spotlighting someone who is truly walking in their purpose. So please let me welcome Miss Gwendolyn Jones to the room.
Hello,
Miss
hello.
Jones is the founder of Loc'd In By Gwen out of Groveland, Florida. She
Yes.
is a natural hair specialist, a Sisterlocks practitioner, and of course, she is a holistic hair advocate for over 5 years of experience in the hair and scalp health industry. Welcome, 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 Gwen.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here, my lady.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, Gwen, I want to start by asking you. Obviously, you're in the hair care industry. You're supporting women through their lock journey and things of that nature. But what was happening behind your chair that had you realize that you needed to learn more about this hair loss thing?
It was not so well. The first thing that made me know that I needed to know more was when I would do retights.
Okay.
And there was a young lady who was sitting in the chair, and her entire scalp was white. It was
Okay.
like she was wearing a cap, right?
Okay.
And she asked me what was going on. She said no one could tell her what was going on.
Mhm.
And when I saw it, I was like, I couldn't tell her what was going on either because she was talking to me about the itch and
Okay.
and the fact that nobody could give her the relief that she need, and that made me feel so bad because I had no answers for her.
Okay.
And on top of that, uh your personal, when you have to deal with it yourself, when you have situations going on that you don't understand
Right.
and you need to know, and you're seeking advice that no one can tell you, that made me want to know more.
All right. I love that. So you wanted to know more. So what made you say, okay, I gotta do something about this thing. I gotta do something about it. Because we all are our, be in position where we don't know the answer to something, right?
Mm,
But it
right,
doesn't have us take the next step and say, okay, now I'm gonna get education about it. Um,
right.
so what had led you to becoming a holistic hair advocate?
Because I wanted answers.
Got
I
it.
wanted to be able to give more than just retights. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah,
I want it to be where, because when they sit in your chair, they're trusting you to do the things that is necessary. They're trusting you to know what it is that you're looking at. And if you don't know what you're looking at, how can you help them? How can you make that what you are doing successful? How
gotcha.
can you do that? Because locticians, and it sets you apart too, Dana. It sets you apart from regular locticians, because when someone is sitting in your chair and you have that knowledge, then you can move them along. But if you don't have the knowledge, how can you help them? How can you be really successful?
I love that because unfortunately, Gwen, as you know, some folks that are doing hair, they're just, styling the hair, making them look pretty for the moment, but because they don't have the words to articulate or the skill sets to be able to say this is that, they don't say nothing at all,
Right.
and it only gets worse. It
Right.
only gets worse for the client. So I appreciate you for hearing the call and actually stepping up and being willing to learn so that you can support your clients in a different kind of way. And yes, you're right. It definitely sets you apart from others because they can get help with whatever issue they have, and they can get support with their lock journey. So I commend you for being willing to do that.
Right.
So now, with the information that you know now about hair loss, what is one aha moment that you've learned that have changed your perspective about hair loss?
10 keys.
Go ahead, Gwen. You too much. You what?
Yes.
Give me a sense of them 10 keys. Give me just a sneak peek. Not all of them, but a sneak peek.
The 10 keys, knowing how your body is supposed to function.
Mhm.
If you eat every day, you should poop every day.
That's right.
If you are not pooping every day, you got a problem,
That's right.
right?
Mhm.
So if you are not nourishing, you got a problem. So so
Mhm.
it's the 10 keys.
Mhm.
And also, when I first started here, you got to be committed
Mhm.
to the cause of what it is that you are doing. If you are not committed, if you are not compliant,
Mhm.
if you're going to fight every step of the way, then what's the point?
Mhm.
What is the point of you being there? You have to be fully committed and present to what it is that you want to do. And
Mhm.
if you're sitting in the chair and you have someone who is open enough and who have knowledge enough to tell you that there's a problem
Mhm.
before it becomes truly a problem, then
Yes.
trust that person to know that they know where they're going.
I love that. I love that. And what you're speaking of those 10 keys is that's the 10 keys to the holistic approach about growing hair. Absolutely. For some reason, people don't connect the body to hair.
Right.
Right. It's like it's compartmentalized. The scalp and hair seem to be compartmentalized from everything else. And we know if you have any kind of ailment, right? The
Mhm.
doctor gonna tell you to eat the right foods and this, that, and the third, right? And we can understand that. But when it comes to our hair, we like, oh, give me that lotion or potion to put on me so I can grow my hair back. But that is not the case. It's a shift in thinking. It's a
It
shift
is
in thinking.
that mindset. And that was something that I learned in the program,
Mhm,
your mindset. And the fact that every client isn't your client, even though they're sitting in the chair. And
right.
you are looking at hair problems and
Yeah.
you are talking to them and you are telling them about it. And they're like, yeah. And it's like we were told. They be like, I don't want all that other stuff. Just give me something to move this off of my scalp.
That's
But
right.
that doesn't mean that it's gonna stay there. That when you take it off, if you got something going on the inside, it's showing on the outside. So your body is talking to you anyway.
That's right.
And if you are not listening, but you have someone who's educated enough to tell you and to show you, I had to show somebody
Yes.
About that scalp, right?
Yes.
Short story. It's like I say I see something on your scalp. We need to look at it. There's nothing on my scalp. The only thing you see on my scalp is probably some dried moisturizer.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, show you right now, but when you come back, I'm going to show you there's something on your scalp that needs attention. So come back the next time for the retight. Had my phone, had my scope, and I'm sitting there. I said, okay, you hold my phone. I want you to see this, right?
Yes.
They just talking. There's nothing on my scalp. I clean my hair. I know I take care of this. I take care of that. I turned that scope on. She was still talking. Dana, I set that scope on that problem that I saw.
Yes.
She was talking. She looked at my phone. She saw all that crud sitting there.
That's right.
What is that? What is that? What is that?
Right.
I said, that's a problem on your scalp that we need to take care of.
Lord,
at that point, she was open to whatever it was I had to say.
I love that. That is educating the client, right? Clearly educating the client. And when she seen that stuff on her scalp, she changed her tune. She ready to do
Yes, she did.
I love that you're putting that in practice. So how, because of what you know now, how has that impacted your confidence and how you show up in your work now?
Because when I talk about certain things, when you know what you know, right?
Yes.
Regardless of what a person tell you, when you have that education, once you get it here, can't nobody take it away from you.
That's right.
When you know what you know, and you are talking to them about what you see, nothing can change that.
That's right.
If the hair is popping, if the hair is shedding, I am in a better spot now because I know better and I can do better.
That's right.
And that's what sets me apart.
I love that. I like what you're saying in regards to what you know. If you know, you know, right? So you got to get into knowing, right? You got to put yourself in the position of knowing, because what's happening, Gwen, and I know you know this because obviously you had that experience yourself, but being with that client and not knowing what to say, because sometimes the stylists don't know what to say, don't know how to articulate what they say. They don't say anything at all. And then that actually makes the situation worse, because hair loss, like many other ailments, the longer you go, the worse it gets.
Yes.
Before you start putting something that's going to disrupt what's actually happening. So I would tell anybody, put yourself in a knowing position, learn about it so that you can better educate your clients, so that you won't be contributing to what's happening. Being ignorant, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, that you just don't know, doesn't change what's happening. Right. And so as a stylist, we are the first line of defense for our clients. So it is to our advantage to be able to be in a knowing spot so that we can share that with them, so that we can help them. So I so appreciate that. So now, Gwen, what are the new services and solutions that you now offer based off of what you know?
I say to them, if I talk to you about your hair, please trust that I know what I'm talking about. The shampooing, right? The eating, the supplementation. I offer all of that.
Okay. I love it.
I offer knowledge.
Good stuff.
I offer understanding. I offer, do you trust me?
Got it.
So with that, everything that's dealing with holistic,
Mm-hmm.
everything that deals with skin. And I had to learn, Dana,
Mm-hmm.
that the scalp is part of your skin. I didn't
Yeah.
see it that way. And if your scalp isn't healthy, your hair isn't healthy. So
Mm.
the whole embodiment of holistic practices, that's what I offer.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That is so good, Gwen, because we do compartmentalize that scalp from everything else. We compartmentalize the scalp and hair from everything else. It needs to be tended to, and we need to have good scalp hygiene. That is hair care. Good
Mhm.
scalp hygiene is hair
Yes,
care. We
I had
need.
to learn it.
Yes, we have to learn that. All right. I'm going to hold the conversation and talk to the audience and say, listen, I want to invite you, if this conversation is resonating with you as a client or a practitioner, and you want to be in the knowing position, right? Knowing about scalp care, I want to invite you to our 2026 Peace and Hair Growth Summit, where you can learn about these things. And let me give you just a sneak peek about what you will learn. I'm Dana Wilson, CEO and Director of Hair Cares Inc., and I'm inviting you to Piecing Hair Growth Together, expanding hair care with hair loss solutions. Hair loss is more than a cosmetic issue. It's a growing concern for clients everywhere. As a hair care professional, we have the opportunity to do more than just style. We can provide real solutions. The key is understanding scalp health, hair growth, and holistic with a W solutions, and that's exactly what you'll gain. Healthy hair begins within, so it is important that we take a holistic approach to healthy hair and healthy hair growth, meaning we focus on the body and not just the hair. Hair products are not enough. It is so important that we focus on scalp care and body wellness. Join us for Piecing Hair Growth Together, expanding hair care with hair loss solutions. You'll leave with expert insights, a roadmap to expand your services, and practical solutions that you can implement into your business immediately. Secure your spot at www.haircaresinc.com, and remember, every strand counts. So if you're interested, this conversation is resonating with you, I invite you personally to come to Peace and Hair Growth Summit, so you can learn more, that you can support your clients, and as a client you can support yourself moving forward. Do not suffer in silence. You'll meet people like Gwen as well, who has heard the call and decided she wanted to step up and help and support people who are experiencing hair loss. Gwen, so obviously now you're supporting your clients and things of that nature. And clearly we have to connect to the work that we're doing, right?
Mhm.
When did you realize that you were making a deeper impact, that now you know, right? And what had you realized that you were making a deeper impact than you even set out to?
The first person who talked to me about their hair,
Mhm.
right? And I told her, I say, it's not just about your hair. I said, if you're really interested in your hair, then you're going to have to make adjustment in a lifestyle.
Mm.
It's a lifestyle change, because if you don't change what you are doing
Mhm.
now, it's not going to help what's going on top of your head.
Mhm.
That was when I knew, Dana.
Mhm.
It had to all come from within.
Right.
And if you commit to what's within, because you want to be healthy.
Mhm. Mhm. That's
Who don't want to be healthy? And if you are not healthy, your hair isn't healthy. It's all connected in what you eat, in what you drink, in what you do physically.
right.
Everything about your hair is about you.
That's right. That's right. I love that.
And that's when it all came together.
I love that, Gwen. Gwen, where can the people reach you?
They can reach me at Locked In by Gwen.
Ooh.
They can also reach me on
Oh,
Facebook, Locked In.
okay. Let me make sure I get that together. I want to put it up on the screen. Do I have that correct?
You got it correct.
InByGwen.com. And you're in Groveland, Florida.
Groveland, Florida.
Listen, Gwen is ready to serve you guys if you need some support around hair growth. And it's not just if you're losing hair, it's preventative as well, right, Gwen?
Yes, yes,
I love
yes.
that. I love that. Perfect. Gwen, tell someone that is watching the show today, who is a practitioner, a hair practitioner or a hairstylist, and they're not sure what to say to the client. What would you recommend to them?
I would recommend that wanting more, knowing more, because we're there for a service.
Mhm.
And if you can't really meet the need that you are looking at, because there are so many locticians that are doing hair,
Mhm.
and they see the thinning, Dana. They
Mhm.
see the locks. The locks are coming out in their hands. I don't know if they would tell, if you would be honest enough to tell your client that they're losing their hair, or want to guide them. When you get to where you don't know,
Mhm.
then it's time to know, because
Mhm.
that's the only way you can truly help your client, or else you're just there taking their money.
Yeah. It reminded me of a story. I had a client, a transfer client come to me. She was experiencing hair loss, and she was sharing that her consultant was retightening her hair, and I guess she lost a lock, and the consultant put it in her brassiere,
Mm,
and she could see that she did it in the mirror. She could see it, and she said she lost all the trust had been lost between her and her consultant, and it made her feel uncomfortable that she didn't say, hey, you lost a lock.
mhm,
And later to find out, at the time she thought it was the consultant's fault because she lost was losing her hair, and
mhm,
the fact that she put in her bra made her feel like it was her fault, right?
mhm,
She didn't
mhm,
want to say anything about it. But when I was sharing with her, yes, the consultant can be a contributing factor to it. However, let's look at her internal health, not get to the root cause of what was going on. She better understood, but it made her feel very leery.
mhm.
Had lost trust with her because she felt like she was hiding something.
Mhm.
So you don't want to be that.
That,
You don't
no,
want to be that hairstylist that the client has lost faith in you because you just didn't know what to say.
what
You know,
to say.
it was just you just didn't know what to say, and you wasn't sure if you were the contributing factor or not. And that's probably why she didn't do it. So that's why I do this work, and because I want to arm people with information so that they can support their clients even more. But one final question: we talked about what you would say to a hair practitioner, but what would you say to a client who is experiencing hair loss? What would you say to him or her um, in the area of giving them hope, Gwen?
I would let them know that if you're experiencing that, then there are factors that's involved. Like you just said, there are factors. And
Mhm.
then let's look at what's going on. Let's look at where you on, and the thing that will really put you on the path is when you hook them to that bioscan machine.
Mm.
You put that bioscan on them, you have something there that you can show them, that you can actually talk to them about, and they can see themselves what's going on inside of their bodies. But I
Mhm.
would say to them, if you have someone chair that you are sitting in, and they have the type of knowledge, they are talking a language that had not been spoken to you before
Mhm.
about what is going on, trust that person, because they know what they're talking about.
Good stuff. I love that. Thank you so much, Gwen. I so appreciate your time, my lady. And
Yes,
hopefully, are you going to be at the summit?
You better know I'm going to be there.
I look forward
Look,
to seeing you.
it was piecing hair together that got me started on this journey.
I love that.
I have learned so much of what I didn't know, and I have the verbiage to back it up.
Perfect.
You know?
Perfect.
So, yes, ma'am, I will be there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you soon, okay?
All right.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening in on this conversation between me and Gwen. Gwen obviously is a holistic hair advocate. She is ready to serve. She's out of Florida. So please contact her if you're in her area and you need support. And listen, stay connected with me. Go to my website, haircaresinc.com, explore my offerings, join our community. And of course, I'm personally inviting you to Peace and Hair Growth Together Summit so you can learn more about this hair growth industry or the myths. Let's come so you can learn what's a myth and what's a truth around hair growth. Because listen, every strand count, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.